All right, so Missouri Compromise. We've gone over this a few times, so this is going to be pretty quick. So by the time 1820 comes around, Missouri is ready to become a state, and it wants to be a slave state. But that would upset the balance in the Senate, so they have to figure out something else. So all of this paragraph is talking about how slavery has increased thanks to Eli Whitney and the Cotton Gin, and they're trying to figure out how to keep the balance of power in the Senate so that neither side becomes too powerful. So Henry Clay is eventually they end up calling him the Great Compromiser because he comes up with the Compromise of 1850 as well. So he is a very influential politician and tries to help settle this argument. And he knew that Maine wanted to become its own state, so he came up with the bright idea to keep the balance in the Senate, to have Maine enter as a free state, and then Missouri gets to be a slave state. But as number one, according to the reading, who is responsible for deciding over admittance of new states, although Henry Clay is very prominent in politics, he is not actually the person who decides who gets to become a state and who doesn't. So they agree on Maine and Missouri, but you can look at this map right here. They're trying to figure out what to do with all the territory west. Okay, so Missouri is this red one right in the middle. And Henry Clay comes up with the bright idea to have this line here, the 3630 line, be the dividing line between slavery down south and free states or free territories at this point up north. So they agree on this line. They agree to compromise on this line. So everything north of this line, besides Missouri itself, is a free territory. Everything south of this line is a slave territory. So most people were good with this, but if you look at the amount of area, eventually the South would have a lot less territory than the North, but that's another show. So a big consequence of this was that Southern politicians would really keep an eye on the North, who were trying to restrict or abolish slavery, because the South knows that it's coming, even though this is way back in 1820. This is a fight that is not going away anytime soon. So number two, sorry, it says number three, the numbering got off. It was so important to Southerners that Missouri enter as a slave state so that the North wouldn't be able to take over politics, because this is a big thing when it comes to the North and the South. Number four, what would determine future land status of being slave or free? It would be this line right here. Okay, everything south is slave, everything north is free. And number five, critical thinking. If I took points off from your paper on this one, it was pretty much probably because you just needed more info. So what do you think would have happened if this not had been agreed upon? Some of the answers I got were that the Civil War would have happened sooner. Pretty much as long as you gave me a good explanation and some good ideas, you got full credit. But if you didn't get full credit, I just needed more info. Okay, so the next video we'll talk about the abolitionists. But here is the start with the Missouri Compromise. All right, thanks, guys.